late. Yo, peace and love. What up, though? What it do? What's popping? What's cracking? What's happening in times 9 times 10? A special
Hotep
guest,
Hotep and
brother Mustafa. What's going on down there
peace
in
and
the
blessings.
flower? You in the flower, ain't you?
I'm in a half tropical, half jungle Dade County, Miami. Or Miami, they call it Miami Dade County. It's where everybody does all their bullshit at and then get away with it. What's going on up there in the man? The D is the mecca of knowledge. I ain't gonna lie. Look, I came from all the way down here to escape the bullshit, the drugs and all that shit. Come up to Detroit, get that knowledge, raise my ass up. Big up to Bobby L. Big up to you, teacher, 2727 building, and all the Moors, Muslims and Hebrews and Christians. I'm the son, so I don't class nobody out. Even the profane, I don't class them out because we all got to learn. You know what I'm saying? Raise up. Let's talk.
Indeed, indeed.
You know, I'm hyped like
You know,
mother. I get up like I'm on crack. Let's go. I'm Jones and I'm fiending. You know what I'm saying?
say, give me some more.
Give me some more. I'm 64.
More like bust a bus.
There you go.
Us out here perpetrating the fraud a little bit, but you
I'm
know.
shoe shining, baby. Shoe shining. Let's make it shine. Let me make that sun shine on that black. They say black is negative. Well, it's a negative. That's what it's part of the earth, ain't it? It's grounded, ain't it? Huh?
Indeed.
So down here, I was, I came back because I started on 66 longitude, 20th altitude, something like that, right? And it all adds up to 30. It's a high point number in Liberty City. They call Broadway, which is 18th Avenue, which is 9. And it sits between Drew Elementary, Liberty City, Dorsey, and Northwestern. A real nigger neighborhood. It's almost like Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Over there. Hey, guess what? I was told about this when I was a little child too, what my future would be like. Meeting people like y'all, man. I always dreamed of going to Detroit, and I made it. 20 years up there. How you like that? And
I love it.
20 years, man. I learned everything. I'm gonna tell you a future prophecy somebody told me was a sister too. She was a Christian. She said, "Whatever you do, don't hang around Joy Road, right?" Well, I did hang around Joy Road, and I got jacked. Fucking shit. She already spoken into existence, and this shit happened. I got jacked, and so my life changed from then, from like 2015 to now. It elevated. The brother that jacked me, I didn't even give a shit. I'm being tested by Allah. Peace and blessings. I'm still here. So I got to talk my testimony. So they held a gun to my head and a gun to my side. I just, hey, whatever you want, blah blah blah. Now I could have did some karate shit, but I wouldn't for all that shit. I did what's best for me at that moment. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here to talk about it, to testify about it. So the brother got put up in I didn't want to even press charges, but some people insisted that I do it. I'm like, no, I don't play that fucking bullshit, because then so we go to court, Wayne County Circuit Court. And they kept asking for identification, for his identification. They said something about black. And I said, there's no such thing as black. And guess who was the chief judge the judge at that time? Chief King. I think his name is the Chief Justice King, the brother. He was at the Wayne Circuit Court at that time. He was a chief justice up there. And
what's that, Frank Murphy?
Yeah. Yep. And I kept telling him there's no such thing as black. And for the record, I'm just throwing stuff. That's when we, doing our thing. But it was real stupid back in 2008, though. Losing battles, losing wars, and then all of a sudden you're winning wars and winning battles, and it's awesome. So any topic, man. What I experienced in Detroit was I was told about in Miami. That's what happened. And so everything that the Moors teach is true. I experienced everything. I experienced everything from getting $60,000 in income tax refund by using magic, real magic. I saw a sister at the time. Her name was Sister Kamala. She won her battle with the Livonia Police Department by herself, in propria persona. She demurred the motherfucking what do you call them people? The jurors. of her peers and put who she wanted to put in there. She controlled that whole, what do you call it, court. We went in there fezed up. As a matter of fact, we were studying under the tutelage of Tariq Bey's Tariq Bey Empress. She was doing law, educational law. As a matter of fact, let me preface that it was doing some educational purposes. You know what I'm saying? And so she taught us that stuff every weekend for 4 hours. And we used that tutelage, me, Savivi, Paz, who else? Motar, Beijing at times, Amir. Oh man, we had a whole list of them. Shavivi's mom. We fezzed up in there. We took out flags, and that one Caucasian guy who had that pencil and stabbed that guy in the neck. After that, we couldn't bring it back in, and so we couldn't bring the flag back in. But Motar, he fixed it up kind of way where we could bring it in. And guess what? Now, Wayne State was cooperating with us. It was like, dude, we could do anything we wanted in that courthouse. It was a brother named Corey that lives out of there where you at in your spot, Lincoln Park. The brother's bad. If you ever get to know about Corey, he's a bad. We went in there acting for the benefit privilege, stamping all accepted for value. They took the book with the warrant charge on it and kept it, and they wouldn't let us get. But we had the original warrant charge. Went to the clerk's office and they asked us, "Where did you get that from?" We made a copy. They didn't know we had the original, and they didn't know we had the original, and we was going to cash it, but she did a capious and they came back for it because we were trying to go upstairs to the 6th floor to get the file of her all accepted for value. Every page we accepted for value, everything, and they kept the book. They kept it. This shit works, man. It works. So we got a
TV or something, the volume of the TV on in the background. Can you turn it down?
Nah, that's the next door neighbors, man.
Okay. Don't worry about it. It ain't that loud, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, he's a Santeria.
Oh, you leave him alone.
Nah, he cool.
I
but
know. With a bottle and all them. I'm talking about.
Yeah. We out shoot, but it's Haitian and Cuban up here, man. I'm protected, man, for sure. Every time I see a Haitian, I'm talking about Saint Leo Vatour, and he didn't just do physical wars. He did more paperwork than he did physical wars. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm down here with the Haitians, man. Brothers down here are powerful. They're powerful. So anyway, she had a lawyer advocate off on Abbott Street, right across from the police department. There used to be a lawyer's advocate place, and we went on there. We grabbed one of the assistant. Lawyer advocate, Mr. Washington, old guy, Mason, and he aided in her case. He didn't do anything. He just gave her steps to make the right moves. You know what I'm saying? And she took that whole floor and won her goddamn case. She beat the Livonia Police Department, man. She is a more Vitus. And she won that case. Guess what happened when she won her case? The cop wanted to shake her hand and pat her on the back. I should say you should have sued his ass for fucking assaulting you by touching. She won her case, so don't say it can't be done by herself, in propria persona. All right. 3rd Circuit Court, Wayne County. Run that. So that's how the thing works. It's all kind of different battles you can win, and you just gotta once you taste it. Once you taste it, it's that's it. It's no. Once you taste that spirit, now you feel like you're invincible. I'm not scared anymore. I got the scarecrow out of me. Now I gotta get the lion, get the courage. Now I got to get the Tin Man and oil myself up to get this business going. You know what I'm saying? Any questions? Press 1.
What I do? I was trying to get his mic set up in the background.
Okay. Any questions? Press one. So my thing started on 66 and 20th back in 69, 70. And I think I was around 13 years old, 14 years old. Brothers used to come around and do that same shit they doing today, showing the social security card, the birth certificates, live birth certificates, all this stuff, 501c3s, the churches, everything, man. And the brothers back then had their own businesses. They didn't work for the white man. They would actually F you up if you work for the white man. They used to the Georgia boys used to challenge all of the you call them so-called sellouts, brothers that work for the white man getting that pension. They would always compete with them, but they would always harass the uppity niggas, let's say it like that, because they work for the white man. And so if you're a real nigga, you're gonna have your roofing job, a construction job, a lawn service, a doctor, a lawyer, your own shit, not accredited by them. And so that's what we were losing back in the 50s and 60s when we took that goddamn civil rights, voting rights and bullshit when we already had it. My question is, if how are you going to set a law against another man to make a law that says he can't go places and places when he can? Now, who was that? You know what I'm saying? That motherfucking Plessy Ferguson shit. How do you make a law against me when I'm a fucking man from the get-go? I don't understand that. And so if that's the case, where my 3/5 is my 5/5 is my woman who you have as an agent and an informant on that birth certificate. So if we take her off that motherfucker, we become 5/5. We become whole. I think that's how that goes. So they're holding us down. Somebody holding it down. I don't know. Gatekeepers. Somebody got their foot on our neck. I don't know. Got their knee on our neck. I don't know. Questions, press one.
Well, we gonna get to it, starting with the basics. You made a statement earlier concerning letting this regime know that you're not black. That's a fiction. It's dealing
Dead
with
letter.
law.
Dead letter.
Yeah, he should be able to see him. So I'm gonna take this down right quick, and we gonna put up something to help us out. We're proving what I just said.
Well, if Mr. Man over there would have had my damn my stand, I wouldn't be holding this with two hands right now. I'm waiting for my TV stand. Yeah, man. Damn. Must be a busy man.
So you see Malcolm, peace be upon him, all three of them.
Yeah.
And Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And Michael Martin Luther King Jr.
Mm-hmm.
The King.
Yeah. All of them was down in Miami back in the day. Overtown. Hampton Hotel. Yeah.
I'm about to make it big right quick, and we're going to read through this a little bit. See here, color of law. Color means an appearance, a semblance. What's this word? Right here. Simulacrum. How you say that?
Soliloquy.
It ain't simulacrum. Okay. Simulacrum. That's distinguished from that which is real. A prima facie or apparent right. Hence, a deceptive appearance, a plausible, assumed exterior, concealing a lack of reality, a disguise or pretext. See also colorable. Black's Law Dictionary, 5th edition, on page 240. Colorable means that which is an appearance only and not in reality, which it purports to be. Hence, counterfeit. You know what I'm talking about? Having the appearance of truth. It's that Wendell versus Flynn, 160. OR, what's that, Oregon? 654, 251. I mean, you can look this shit up. This is not, something that um we're not clinging to any conspiracy theories. We deal with
Right,
this shit
right,
every day, all
right,
day.
right.
Color of law means the appearance or semblance without the substance of legal right. Again, color of law means the appearance or semblance without the substance of legal right. See, legal, lawful, we know those are two different things as well. It's not the same. A misuse of power possessed by virtue of state law and made possible only by wrongdoer is clothed with authority of state is action taken under color of law. That's Atkins versus Lanning,
Misuse,
D.C., Oklahoma.
misuse, misuse of power. And I think also they say that's a misdemeanor. Also, or they call it, it's another word. Also, I think it means misdemeanor as an offense under the Treason Act of taking over the government. Or go ahead.
If something is color of law, then it is not law. Again, if something is color of law, then it is not law. So let's go back to this black white thing,
Hmm.
Negro thing.
Hmm.
Is no, it's not different because again, you saying that Negro is, black in Espanol, right?
Hmm.
Same difference. You got some
Negro,
Negro
Niger,
kids.
The Black Nile. Okay, I mean, a Black Niger. A brother, a teacher was trying to, historian was trying to tell me that Niger can't be nigger. Dude, they're interchangeable. Stop playing. Next, press one.
Boom. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go to prima facie and color of law both go hand in hand because if a law is prima facie evidence of the laws of the United States, that means it is color of law by definition. In other words, the bureaucrat presumes that the law applies to you until you defeat their presumption, right? So if you read
By
these prima
affidavit.
facie color of law statutes, you will find them using words like person. I will use the color of law title 26 USC as a typical way that they do it. Then you got 26 USC 7701A in parentheses, one in parentheses, person. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, a state, partnership, association, company, or corporation. Again, this is in 26 USC 7701, right here. You see it right here. The term person shall be construed to mean and include an individual, a trust, a state, partnership, association, company, or corporation, which brings light to the nomen in all caps, the straw man, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
It says in the Internal Revenue Code, they say that a person has to pay taxes and obey their filing requirement, etc. And most people think that they are such a person.
Only
So they
essential
do.
workers. Go
But there
ahead.
is a maxim of law that says something else, right?
Hmm.
And look at this big ass Latin word. What it say? Eius dem generis. It's the adjective Latin for of the same kind, used to interpret loosely written statutes, where a law lists specific classes of persons or things and then refers to them in general. The
Hmm.
general statement only applies to the same kind of persons or things specifically listed. Example, if a law refers to automobiles, trucks, tractors, motorcycles, and other motor powered vehicles would not include airplanes since the list was of land based transportation, right? So, pursuant
Hmm.
of the maxim of law, that big ass, I'm gonna say Greek word, even though it's Latin, word individual is another type of fictitious entity because the rest of the entities are fictitious entities. And in the rules of statutory construction, a definition must contain the same type of entities, or it is of void for vagueness. Therefore, an individual and a person are different names for a corporation. Again, therefore, an individual, do I need to highlight it? And a person are different names for a corporation. Title 15 USC Section 44 even provides an unincorporated corporation. What? An unincorporated corporation? They're going to have to explain this to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says, when do you want a color of law statute? What? When you do what a color of law statute says, you are deemed to have agreed to the terms of the contract. And ignorant of the law is what?
Not
Not
an
an
excuse.
excuse. That's what they say. But I say I don't want to do business with these people at all, period, point blank. Therefore, I'm not obligated to, you know what I mean, to
Mm-hmm.
respond or even be expected to give any type of consent to anything, whether it's an adhesion contract, some type of excise tax, whatever it is. I simply
Mechanics
do not
contract.
want to
Yeah.
do business with the state of Michigan or the city of Detroit or the city of Livonia or the city of Dearborn or the city of Dearborn Heights or the city of New York. I don't want to do business with any of these colonists, period.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You well, the municipality runs everything, and they run everything as far as taxes on the local level, and they take all our lunch money because we don't know how to take the lunch money to not give them the lunch money, and then they use their little spiders and agents to circumvent our ability to be free as far as housing, homesteading, exemptions, etc., etc. And the way they do that thing, that fee simple, the deed, when they do the deed, you can't, it's binding. That's a damn lie, because well, it's another story. I'm gonna tell you what happened, what we did down there at Wayne County. If anybody's familiar with Wayne County, back when we was doing the financial statements, and the knucklehead Moors who were trying to cash in on the stuff, you don't cash in on stuff like that. It's all zero accounts out. Leave it alone. Stop trying to get them Fed notes. That's not money. Stop it. That's what messed us up in the first place. I had to go to Kentucky to get my damn finance statement. So I get my ride to come down here. The lady didn't want to put the damn thing on the file because there was too much on the finance statement. But anyway, we forced Eric Sabree, to change their tactics when his group was still in them houses. They still owe $600 million, man. And they have I have a video that I'm going to show you where that lawyer team, the dude that's in the legislation now, the one in the wheelchair, that lawyer team, Art. Damn, what's the name? What's the blind guy's name in the wheelchair? The Jewish guy. That lawyer team that be on TV all the time. He's got a statue that he got that you can get your house back according to the he put a provision in. The one that did the handicap thing would put all the yellow shit at the end of the Bobby told you not to cross over or step on. Remember that? And the wheelchair, he had a lawsuit, and everybody had to change their. He has a law provision where you can get your castle back. That's another story. But yeah, that's what's going on down there. So I was what's the girl named Kamala told me about this, and you can actually get your houses back. I got to give it. I got the paperwork for that.
You could recall his name. I could pull it up probably.
Damn, the blind guy. You know what? They put all the shit down. The no scared. The lawyer team. He's up there now in Michigan. He's in a wheelchair, and
Let's back up a little bit. When you mentioned the municipalities, as I was naming them off, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Dearborn and whoever else.
They owe us. They owe. Okay, go ahead.
We were taught, you got these municipalities and they have what? City ordinance, right?
Yep.
Which is the same as Jim Crow, no different than the vagrancy laws and the Christian black codes. Just another name for it.
Right.
An ordinance, if it's an ordinance, then who is it ordained by? You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we can't get past the fact that all of these municipalities that we may name this evening, they all have a charter proving that they are doing business, right?
That's what I'm saying.
What's the point of all this talk about somebody breaking a law? Breaking what law? You're merely a corporation doing business. Again, as I keep telling the people, Burger King is a business, but Burger King don't force you to eat their burgers. They don't force you to do business with them. You understand? These colonists, these cretins came over here with the get down or lay down.
But let me interject with a question. Didn't we allow them to do business or be the sharecroppers to our land? Because when I say something like that, what's his name, Frank Burrell, he'll chop me down, man. All this is ours, and what they're doing is they're usurping this shit and trying to make it theirs or adopting it. So like I say, circumventing that shit to make it like it's theirs when it's not. But go ahead, press on.
Now, I was just making a point that, again, you're right. They were given permission to do commerce and trade on this land by a portion of our ancestors.
Okay.
All of the chiefs wasn't in cahoots. You know what I'm talking about?
Right,
Some
right.
of them was killing them as fast as the minute they seen them. It's how bad some of our ancestors did not wish to even interact with these pale people. These foreigners, these invaders, so to speak. So now, centuries later, as we once again regain some wealth, you understand, we're having these conversations again because we don't want another red summer. You understand?
Right,
We don't, redlining is out the question if we are a sovereign nation and are no longer doing business with these people unless they are giving a tribute. We know what tribute is. Some of our people think a tribute is some type of concert or some type of plaque or something. No, the tribute is them paying us. You understand? As if we
Now,
are still holding them ransom the same way that they kidnap our people and hold us ransom all the time. Outside of that, I don't have no dealings with these folks.
Now, the ransom the woman, because she is the agent, she is the informant. Is that the ransom that the man? So if we got to raise up to come and get you, we already rose up. They just holding the gate locked up. So the non-obligation person, he can do it because there's nothing holding him. The obligated person has a set time to do. He got to go by orders. You got to go by the Scottish. You got to go by the them kind of people. They work one hand in hand, black and white. They got that checkerboard carpet going on. You know what I'm saying? One knocks down the other every now and then, and one takes rules. So the 25,000 years is almost up, ain't it? Or is it up already? I don't know. We're in the fifth dimension. Let's go. Let's run with it. We got to go to 7, so we still got 6. We got to go to the fullness of the fullness of time with the Gentiles. When he get his 6, we haven't reached 6. So in my time, I'm at the 5th dimension. And we're going through this astral material world on a physical plane. I think that's how you quote that thing, right? And so the municipality is where the gold is at. And we got to get the gold. And it's in what do they call it? A state trust? Yeah, they got state trust because we don't do fiat. So we got to get the gold and the silver. And that's what we're heading to. If you don't see it, it's happening. You just got to see it. It's happening. Everything's in place. We just got to activate it. But now, how do you activate it? They won't let you see it because they're still using those tricks, those hoodwink tricks, giving us liquor, giving us guns, giving us all kind of stupid stuff to lower our higher self. You know what I'm saying? And so once we start doing living a clean life and reading the books and the laws and practicing this stuff every day, and how you doing, sir? Like, sign here, don't sign here. Let me tell you what we did. Municipalities, whenever they give you a contract and it don't look right, cross everything out that don't apply to you. Initial it and put what you want to put in it. It works every time. That's called negotiate. I did it on a tax court, like 30-something pages, 50 pages. We crossed everything. We got a ruler. We crossed everything out. Initialed it, put what we wanted to put in there, and boom, boom, boom. Went to tax court, and they asked me some status shit. I said, I'm a sentient being. You cannot say, if you're a so-called Negro, you cannot say you're a sentient being because they don't consider you a sentient being. But I said that in tax court, they let me go. That was it. Tax court, that U.S. District Court, that big mug, that's where I was at. And I got some cash, so that works. You want to hear that story? I got stories, man, and all of them are true. I'm so excited because I could tell the story, man. I experienced all this stuff. The Moors was telling this shit when I was 7 years old, and I'm living it today, and it actually works if you work it. It ain't magic overnight. It's a life journey, man. It's a life journey experience, and once you get that knowledge, ain't nothing you can't take it. You can't take it away from you. Being
A lot of
non-obligated, I can.
trials and error.
Yeah, I've
A lot of trials and error,
a
but
lot of trials, and then you
we'll go
come out
through it.
smelling like a rose, man. Yeah, like I said, we battled. She did a cape. She took. We look. I'm gonna tell you how I see this thing as a traveling man. So she was in jail, right? And we had to raise $1,500 to get her out, get the bond up. And we went to this place on Canfield and 75 in Hamtramck. It was a lodge, and my brother was out there doing provisions, and we needed some cash. Well, I'm hustling. We on the street hustling. Got to get her out of jail. And we were on there doing our little civic duty, and this brother was putting the provisions in, and Amir did the hail sign, and he gave us $10. Said, on our return back, we're gonna pay your money double. He said, don't even worry about it, bro. See, you see what I'm saying? So we out there, man. And she was in stress, and we held the sign up, and the brother helped us out. Just that little bit can go a long way. Thank you to the brother, the lodge up there on Canfield and 75 and Hamtramck. Peace. Press one. But we got the $1,500, got her out. We kept the original copy, gave them the copy to get the $1,500 so they won't cash that bond money. They didn't cash that money yet. Takes a while to cash it. So she's trying to get that cash off of that bond. It works, people, if you know how to do it. Like you say, trial and error, it works. But it's not a thing for the profane in a municipality, because once you let the secret out, they're gonna shut it down and try to do something else. You know what I'm saying? Like they did
They're
that.
gonna create some other policies. You know what I mean?
Like they did CC what that 21301 or whatever that thing is. All rights reserved
One
till
dash
308.
207.
They repealed the law about allodial title also. Anthony Johnson L. that was with the dojo back then. His name is in them books down at the law library on Jefferson. Or was that Lafayette? One of them. Yeah, his name is in them books. Beijina pulled it up. I was surprised. She went into the back, pulled the book, and say his name is right there. Allodial title. It's got an asterisk next to it. That's when he had his case with Wayne County. We had a house on I think it was in Redford. He listed, and he had the house, but he asked for too much on his finance statement. He wanted 100 billion. They weren't gonna give.
Stop doing that shit.
Yeah, he put down 100 billion. I said, you can't do it like that. And so he would have had it, but the dude came back and they did something and found that his paperwork was fucked up. So, or else he would have had the problem. So that would, like you say, trial and error. So, like you say, the municipalities they're running the show, and they hire goons to put you in fear to pay taxes. Well, you don't have to fear nobody, no one. This is your roads, your roads.
Before you go too far with that, I'm gonna show you something right quick. Something I shared earlier this week, and of course, you know, it got like close to 100 likes. So
awesome! Bless. I hope you building, man. I hope a lot of people keep spreading your knowledge, man. Spreading your YouTube. Like
Definitely
and share,
hit
y'all.
the like,
and
and if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe, share, hit the like, leave us some comments. Let's scroll on down and see what had happened, because it's definitely on here right quick.
If y'all get a chance, come on down
to share it without blowing up the page. Let me see.
Yeah, big up to Finkel and Schaefer Dojo.
Boom. So can I just, yeah, okay, I can. So let me share it right quick with the audience. Let them take a peek at what we have here while we examine it at the same time. So it says borrower. He's a borrower. use as promissory note to pay mortgage debt, right? And it's just a small newspaper clipping. And, most people would look at it and just, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Keep it pushing or whatnot. But we got 101 people, so there is
cool.
an abundance of comments, right?
And
me
what do they want to know?
Right. So let me scroll. So here's the full newspaper right here, because we had see this brother right here. He be on Roland Martin and all type of different little shits or whatever, right?
Oh, okay.
Mr. Brother Michael M. Hotep. So he
yeah,
asked, he say, which newspaper is this clipping from? So I drop him the whole paper. I don't get a response back. You know what I'm talking about? But
because that's what Masons do. They take your stuff and don't give it back.
Oh.
You didn't know that? You didn't know that?
Okay, let's go. This is Waterford News and Star. Fighting for their home. You see, this is a pale. I don't know. What do you want me to call them? Shit. I'm not calling nobody white and black and all of that kind of shit.
No, Caucasian means
what it is.
Caucasian means black.
I didn't call him Caucasian.
That. Oh, okay.
I said
he's European. People. You can say European mud. He's a mud. There's no pure. Listen, sister, hold on.
Asian and shit.
Well, no. Nobody's pure yet.
Indo-European or Eurasians or
you can say
pale
people,
that. Cretans, pilgrim, colonists.
I wouldn't be so.
I don't care. I'm not calling them white. I'm just not doing that one.
Sister, I wouldn't be so. I would just say European. Transplant.
That's difficult for me too, because Europa. You know what I'm saying? It's like really difficult for me to even say that. Albions. Yes, thank you. You know what you used to say. And I could start talking about troglodyte.
No.
Somebody bringing up what the brother Rod Hayes just said, that they weren't the original Neanderthals and all of this and all of that. Like, I don't even want to go off into all of that.
No, we ain't gotta go through. No. But if you want to, if they stole, if you flip everything, which is us, and you used to say Albion, so I would go with Albion. You used to say that all the time, so we'll go with Albion.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, go ahead. Again. I know it's hard, but see, listen.
This is the thing. We don't have the ending results of what happened with this case, and I say that because, being that our teacher was who he was, peace upon him, we know many people who put land patents and all different type of shit. Took the address off their house, did all kind of shit. Trying to keep the house. You understand? I'm gonna get to the comment in 1 second. Peace and love, relatives. Now we've known people who, for instance, like Brother Corn. You know what I'm saying? He got his house. He didn't even pay a house note. You understand? Even after he moved out the house, Brother David, one of our Washita, David Love and his wife stayed in the house for another couple years. You understand? And this is out in Southfield, so we see different. Peace be upon him, Brother Al. He had a land patent on his house 10 years before I even met him. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So different people had different experiences with this. We know, as far as any type of creating an allodial title, we did that by way of adding Il, Bay, Day, Al, and Ali as a noble title to our names. So assuring that we had a firm footing on the land. You understand? Many people didn't understand that. They want to bring up Turk, and y'all want to be the Turks and the turkeys and the what? What are you talking about?
No.
What are you talking about? The Turks? You talking about the Byzantine Empire? And you know what I'm talking about? Like, you still talking about Moors? No matter, you know what I mean? You got to go back further than that. But that wasn't the point. The point was, we were looking to regain our sovereignty by any and all means necessary. So if that meant me taking the numbers off of my house, getting me out of a federal coding zones and all of this kind of shit, whatever we had to do, we did that. If I had to file a UCC-1 in Kentucky, because I couldn't walk into the Uniform Commercial Code office anymore at the Secretary of State in Lansing, in the capital of Michigan. Not the UCC office downtown in Wayne County in Detroit. I'm talking about in Lansing at the Capitol. We used to walk straight into it and take care of our business all the time.
Yep.
You understand? So they eliminated that. They wanted you to do it online and all of this other shit. Like I've even filed. I filed and got billed. I didn't even pay. You know what I'm talking about? Multiple times. So it was, things were a lot easier. I was gonna say easy because none of this shit is easy, but it was more simplified because it was more hands-on. Now we got this internet and all of this other shit, and everybody's going off of what somebody said, and they not doing their due diligence. You know what I'm talking about? And they damn sure not studying self because they too goddamn sensitive about simple things.
Ask the audience, have they read, and I know it's redundant, The Wizard of Oz Straw Man. Has anybody read that? Raise your hand, press 1. I'm getting any ones. Wizard of Oz Straw Man. Press 1. How many you get?
Okay, we got one.
This is your municipality. Tell them to log on to Wizard of Oz Straw Man. Everybody log on that and tell me what you see. That is your municipality right there.
Well, let's see.
You got your 10-man TIN number, tax identification number. You got the scarecrow who don't have a freaking brain. That's us. And then you got the cowardly lion who don't have the what? Straw man. There's an answer to your municipality. You know they got that in the that damn thing.
No, I ain't listening to that.
Breaking the Code, 4th edition. You see it? You see a scarecrow, a little funny looking cartoon thing?
They ain't about to do that for us.
Well, anyway, the municipality of that is right. So, but anyway, the municipality of that is you're dealing with. But that's what you're dealing with. Your TIN number. You got to go in as a business and not as a person or individual. You want to hide your real self, your sentient being, and just do business on their level. You got the scarecrow who knows he got it in his head, but he don't know how to put the words together. You're the cowardly lion because you don't know how to go to the courts and say nothing. Stand mute. Don't litigate with them. Matter of fact, don't even go to court at all. You know how that works. We did it a couple of weeks ago. Did it work? It worked. It works, people. You don't have to go to court. And if you do anything, you just stay on mute. Let them figure it out. But you already present when you came in there. They saw you. You don't say shit because they got a gun. You're being threatened because they got a gun. So the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy is the only sentient being in that whole thing. Everything else is her and Toto is the only thing that's real. Everything is an illusion. The Wicked Witch is the judge. She wears all black. Come on, y'all. You got to pay your taxes. Called Toto. That Toto did what? Did he bite that lady or something? And she said, "I'm gonna sue you in court." That's what it's all about. So if you read the Wizard of Oz Straw Man, you know exactly how to run a municipality. What we're supposed to do is to not. We're supposed to run that motherfucker. When I saw Joanne Watson and what's the other brother name that was in there, they left. And we was fighting the grassroots to get in that office. Why they left to get out the office? They didn't like it. You understand what I'm saying? They pulled a setup on Kwame Kilpatrick. They always do that to brothers to make him look like he wasn't shit when he was a law school student, whatever. And then they try, the same old shit keeps going on. But Strawman Wizard of Oz is your municipality answer to beat the system. Now, what happened?
Put it on the screen. Can you zoom it a little bit, Amir? Yeah. You see it on the screen, Mustafa?
Okay, hold on. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's your municipality right there. You follow those you follow that and you can free yourself. You don't have to participate in it.
They giving up some remedy and some
reward. For those that are not in the system but trying to get out, there's your remedy right there. If you apply all of this, you can navigate a little bit easier. You can travel down the road a little, but you can't be riding around there dirty thinking and then cussing that man out. You got to treat him like like you the boss. He ain't your boss. He got no business coming up on you, regardless of what's going on.
They love to do it. We seen this cop today chase this car.
That's it right there.
What is it? Schaefer in Jefferson right there is no turn on red.
Right.
So the car sits there for a minute. He just couldn't wait. Peace and love, sister. He just couldn't wait for the light to turn green for him to turn. Now he already passed the police. The police is already sitting there doing a speed sting. You know, so he's seen it, but he turned already and was gone. So it's like maybe 5 or 6 cars behind me in both lanes. The police is so in a frantic to go and extort this man and possibly kidnap him and rob him that he, you know, is forcing all the other cars to get out the way. Mind you, this guy done turned about a minute ago. So when the cop does get on Jefferson to be able to chase the guy, he's literally speeding. The cop is. The car is a mile away. You understand?
Okay, so why didn't he radio ahead for Bolo blah blah blah? Why you pushing? See, you're pushing. You ever see how a boat pushes the waves, and he's pushing that pressure? Something's going to break. If he steps back, radio to the crew, look, blah 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 and you got cameras. Let that man go do what he got to do, and you'll see him in the morning. But you don't need to be causing chaos, man. That's what. See, those cops are not even sanctioned by law. They're how you say it, for hire, something for hire.
Yeah, not bonded when they get out their cars and all kind of shit.
They're not insured. I wouldn't put myself in that kind of danger. I would stop my car in a lighted area. I would stay there until they pull me out. Once they touch you, that's assault. Period. There's no unless you got cause, and even if you got cause, they can't bother you because you did nothing wrong. Unless they planted some shit on you and they tipped their heads, we got them. That's still
they known for that. They known for that. They known for being the biggest alcoholics and woman beaters and the suicide committers. You know what I'm talking about when it comes to.
When I came here from Miami, Liberty City, the first thing a brother told me said, "Look, man, these people are alcoholics and they're drunk." And we actually saw one on Warren and Outer Drive sleeping in his car, drunk. But that's beside the point. Yeah, that Wizard of Oz people is the theosophist Frank Baum. He was around there with Madame Blavatsky and Rudolf Steiner and all them. He studied under them, you know what I'm saying? So he's a theosophist. And so he already knew what the future, that's what I'm saying. They already know what the future is for us. They got a set time, we don't. But our time is to clean up our act so we can come to them with no blemishes. When we go to court, they say, "Oh, we need a witness. Oh, he's a drunk, he's a this," and you're not credible. So if you're pure and you're more biters and you're pure, you have no blemishes, you could beat any person on this earth, period. But you can't be dirty. And if you're dirty, clean up your act. Repent. Don't do nothing. Don't go back doing that stuff no more. It's in the mind. It's all in the mind. So that right there will set you free. The Wizard of Oz, 1, 2, 3. You see what I'm saying? All that federal zone. Yep. There you go, right there. But they can be your friend, like Bobby L said. They can be your friend. When he said something about the IRS doing that, I went and did me some Papa Legba and got me $60,000. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And I went counterclockwise on it was on Plymouth Road and I think Patton or Fielding, one of them. You know where that Coastal gas station is? And yeah, right over there. Emmanuel's, yep. Early in the morning, Monday morning, before the sunrise, before Lucifer. Did my 4 corners, man. Put them 16 pennies down, get you some Myers liquor. And he likes Myers liquor, man, that Jamaican rum. And you wait, don't expect nothing. If you're convicted in it, you ask for financial assistance, you're gonna get your financial assistance. I got 70,000 after they paid off my taxes. I got 61. Yeah, it works. everything people see going on in their lives, and they know that it's going to happen, and it happens, you know you're well connected. You got the power. But you're going to have more power if you clean your act up and repent and stop doing all the fucked up things that you be seeing going on, like screeching tires and stealing and robbing and killing. We don't kill. We don't shed blood for the remission of sins. But go ahead, press 1. So that Wizard of Oz is the shit. Get your TIN number instead of your social security number. If you want to be off the grid, just go off the grid. Get your declaration that says you know, how you say that, rescind, blah, 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 all of this and that. Get your affidavit, put it in the Indian Village newspaper. What's the other one? Chronicle. Put it in the newspaper for 2 weeks. And now you got your contract. You're free. Anything else, sister? That's deep, ain't it? Let them read that. They'll see what's going on, and they'll get their spirit right. Though. Look at it. Look at that. Yeah. 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 Axis of Powers, World War II. There you go. There you go. And you can use this in your municipality and make the municipality. They're supposed to work for you. The tribute is you're supposed to get the money from the you know how the casinos get that 100-year lease, I mean tax-free lease or whatever you call that shit. They don't have to pay taxes for 100 years. You ever heard of that? There you go. Let me see what that is. I don't have that.
I don't know. I don't. You can see it.
Okay, I see it now. Yeah. I got it.
What this say? Rules 4-1.8 conflict of interest, and this is from brother. Let me give him his credit. Oh, come on with this. My mouse is acting so stupid, y'all.
I know it's they actually they own you. They own me.
Brother
but they never.
Isaiah Jakeem Bey, right? Shared just earlier.
Oh, okay. That brother's deep. He's a real brother.
Yeah, on it, don't he?
Yeah.
He said, lawyers shall not enter into a business transaction with a client knowingly acquire an ownership, possessory, security, or other pecuniary interest adverse to a client unless, and I'm not even about to go through all that. Let's stop right here. It says a lawyer, right? So we gonna interchangeably use the word attorney, right? Poper, whatever you want to call it, right? Now, when we dealing with these judges and these magistrates, were they not first attorneys? I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than if you go in there with one of these armed pieces known as a lawyer or a liar or an attorney.
But hold on, because
it's a conflict of interest going on because everybody in the court is an officer of the court except for your ass. So it's already a conflict of interest, and then I'm gonna show up with one of y'all homeboys as if.
But hold on.
Go ahead.
No. You said if he's a homeboy, if he's my daddy.
Pretty much. He has to represent you as if something is wrong with you.
No,
where you have to be represented as something else because you do. A corporation can only do business with another corporation. McDonald's don't talk. You understand? That's why we say natural person and propria persona. You understand? The state of Michigan cannot come against me for any fucking thing because the state of Michigan don't have arms, legs, a mouth. It don't got a fist. It don't got none of that.
So what we do is we used to go up to Secretary of State. We used to go get that paper. She would get a paper with your all caps name saying that you're not a corporation, but the name is. You know what I'm saying? And you present that in the court. You don't say nothing. That's it. Done deal. No interrogatories and nothing like that. You don't even do interrogatory. When you do an interrogatory, put an X and then keep it moving, or put lines through anything y'all don't want to sign or agree to. Remember that. They're not going to bother you. And initial it. They're not going to bother you. Do everything in red and blue pen.
You'll get the seal back, that state seal, and it'll say end the certification. It used to say sovereign end the certification. They changed a lot of shit after 2006. Starting at the beginning of 2006. When I filed my first UCC-1 filing financial statement, when I didn't even really over and understand what I was doing.
Right. But guess who changed everything? The Moors. They changed that that all caps name when you see the so-called magistrate. It has, remember that name? Y'all changed that. That shit is up in lowercase now. And Wayne County treasurer, Wojciechowski, what was his name? Wojciechowski, the thief that was getting all the, when y'all was paying them mortgage fines or whatever, he was getting all the money going straight to him, not to the treasury. But that's why he left. Him and what's the other guy's name? All in cahoots. Hawthorne, the judge, him and his family, they were all in cahoots with the property. And Sabri. We was down there, man. Look, stop. It was that deep, bro. And you talking about municipality? Yeah, he had to change when he left. He had to change the billboard where it says Wayne County tax whatever, and change it because the money was going to his name, but not to the treasury. That's why he had to leave. But go ahead, press 1. And we was down there telling them, y'all help change them. Now when you go in there, you see them names, it's all up in lowercase. And they'll try to say we got you on jurisdiction, whatever, and then we don't even question it because they tell us to shut up. What we do is we bring in the Constitution when the Constitution is not allowed in there. They'll put you in jail for that. You know that, sister, right?
They kidnap people all the time.
All the time when they come with that Constitution. They don't want to hear that because they're not sworn for that. They're not obligatory for that. They're not. They're goons. And you can beat them every time. We beat them. Didn't your man beat him with that? We just wrote something and I do not contract and I do not consent. Agent, done. Bye. What can you do? You accepted it. Now it's in your hands. Now give me a counter. There is no counter. It's settled. Done. And we did that. It worked. You do a quiet administrative process, the most powerful process for Moors. Send it in. Don't sign your name and don't give them your information. Just say agent. Anything that don't apply to you, put a line through it, initial it, and put what you want and send it back. They gotta either deny it or accept it, one or the other. That's where the power lies in. What see that?
Well, what have been working for me lately was, ask them, mm-hmm. Who here has a claim? Who has a claim?
And there's another term I can't say because
it cannot be the state of New Jersey. It can't be the state of Florida. You know what I'm talking about? It can't be them. They always have your name versus them or them versus you. You know what I'm talking about? You the defendant and them being the plaintiff. So
who's injured
has to step up and speak right now or forever hold a peace. And I don't care if it's with or without prejudice. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
What they call that? Subjugation? How you say that? Subjugation?
Well, in subjugation or I don't know that's right, or adjudication. Which one? Subjugation, adjudication.
Subjugation. Okay. How you say that?
Subject you.
I could pull it up.
Yeah, what's that thing, man?
I ain't gotta pull it up. The last time I want to say, no, you wasn't there. That's when they came running back out.
Oh yeah, what's her name? Hold on one second. Rashid Illis, UCC military courts. I love that, man, because we're are we on land or are we on water? Which one? You know what I'm saying? Because every time you try to go in there navigating, they try to put you on a plank. I like what he just put up there. UCC military courts. Yep, I like that. This thing ain't working right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I like that military court.
Oh yeah. Okay, I know what it was. My bad, y'all. I done faded out the picture for a minute. Hold on. I got one even better.
What else the audience want to know?
We're gonna talk about how all of these courts are commercial.
Oh yeah, yeah. You could beat them. You could. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. Check this out. Y'all ready?
All crimes are commercial.
Yep. I'm gonna check this magic out. A couple of years, I think it was 4 years ago, 5 years ago. My daughter, let me see. My daughter, she was caught with a firearm, stolen firearm. She was facing 5 years, first offense, and I got down there and I did some magic. Had to get some funds, and they kept putting her file underneath on the bottom. She was a Latin sister, a judge. But unbeknownst to them, I had somebody in the works, and I'm praying to the gods to give me some sign. So when her day came up for them to do their thing, there was a bailiff there, and she said, "Why are you not picking this file up? And you keep picking those up." So she picked my daughter's file up and gave her a no prunk tongue, they call it, where she went through a what do you call it, probationary thing. You pay a couple of bucks. My cousin was the bailiff. She was the supervisor there. She saw the file. She told them pull that file up. You see what I'm saying, people? That's your energy, your vibe. Your people, are angels, are everywhere to help you. And so my cousin, she's in law enforcement, and she saw her cousin there. And she bailed her. She pulled that file up and got her cousin out of there. So it works. It works. My daughter was facing, I think, 5 years, something like that. Yeah. But I had a cousin there, an angel there, and pulled that file up, because she never would have pulled that file up. My daughter would have been in jail right now today. So these things work, y'all. If you got that spirit in you and around you, that energy, it will work. But go ahead, press one.
All right. I know this looked very familiar to you. Peace be upon him. Bobby had this on the wall as well back in the day. So 27 Code of Federal Regulations 72.11, meaning the terms. We simply, simplify by saying all crimes are commercial according to this federal regulation right here. So this is Cornell Law School. Let me see my mouse just be tripping. Meaning of terms. Stop doing that. Oh my god. It won't let me. Okay, let me see. I want to back it up a little bit. So within this, you're gonna see a lot about the ATF and licenses and so on and so forth, right?
Mm-hmm.
As used in this part, unless the context otherwise requires, terms shall have the meaning ascribed in this section. Words in the plural form shall include the singular. Again, you cannot ignore any of these words or just read past them if you don't over and understand what they mean. Words in the plural form. Words in the plural form shall include the singular and vice versa. That's letting you know that they are on absolute bullshit, which is why I have zero desire to do business with any of these people. Again, they said words in the, let me highlight this. Words in the plural form shall include the singular, right? And vice versa. And words importing the masculine gender shall include the feminine. Huh? The term includes and including
Oh,
do not
I got what
exclude
you're saying.
things not enumerated which are in the same general class.
I got what you're saying.
ATF officer, an officer or employee of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, duly authorized to perform any function relating to the administration or enforcement of this part. You all already know it's some bullshit.
Yep.
Again, it don't take all of this for you to tell me that all of the crimes are commercial. Meaning, once again, when I tell y'all, what do people say? What did they start off with the vagrancy laws? It say, if you do such and such, you shall be in prison and fined. You can pay a fine and or go to prison. Go to prison and or pay a fine.
Mm,
Right? So
mm,
that's
mm,
proof
mm,
right there that all of their crimes are commercial. I've
mm-hmm,
seen
mm-hmm,
I've seen people's paperwork, indictments and things like this and that for
mm-hmm.
like 400 pounds of marijuana and things like this and that. And the paperwork said 10 years in prison and or a $10,000 fine.
Damn.
So you can afford to transport 400 pounds of cannabis. You got $10,000 to pay that fine so you can go on about your business.
Right, right. So they
That's the
just want
cost
money.
of doing business with these
Mm-hmm.
invaders. I don't want to do business with people who turn a plant into a fucking drug and fine and imprison you for it. And then decades later come back and so-called make it legal and make trillions off of it. I don't want to do business with these people at all.
And how, my thing is, it's a plant. My thing is, how do you bully me? Because I'm not getting your Fed notes. I don't care about your fiat. I'm trying to do business with my neighbors down the street. And if I got to transport something down in your country, it's none of your business because I haven't committed a crime. You're stopping me on some kind of what they call that shit, on a what they call it. Let's pick that one and get them and see what they got. They got it. It's like they almost know we got something so-called illegal in our car, which is not really illegal. It's just something we're carrying in our car that they deem is illegal when it's not illegal. But doing their sovereign, because all states here are really countries, and all countries here are sovereign. You follow what I'm saying? So they got their own set of rules. You come in my neighborhood, you know what's good for you. I'm just passing through. I'm just passing through. I ain't got no business to do, but I got to pay a tax to get through your damn state, nigga. I'm sorry. I got to pay a tax, a tribute. What? Who's the head nigga in charge? Let me speak to him. I don't want to talk to you. You're nothing to me. So let me talk to him. I don't want to do business with you. And give me a pass and let me go through. So, give me a pass. Let me go through. I'm just passing through. So I got something on that too coming up. A law, not a law, but how, like you said, how can you change something for you and not for them or us or them that want to do business in the marijuana business? You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking plant. It's a seed. What God tells you can't do that, but you got to go by certain laws of man, or you don't go by the laws. So do you respect the laws? Let me change it like that. Do you respect the laws? And are they conducive to your interests for yourself? No, because they got 15,000 people in jail for marijuana laws. It don't work. So now what do? You got to put people in power to change the laws. How do you do that? Stop killing our people. And we got to stop killing our people, period. That's the answer. How are you going to have power to vote if you don't have nobody in the goddamn voting line? Everybody's dead, shot up. I got to get on our people, man. I got to, because I can't keep getting on the cracker white man, whatever. He ain't my fucking problem. He ain't my issue. It's us. We are the government, and we need to set our president right now. Now, look, how many people you got on the website? For every dollar about a cost amount, you can save up, buy some land, and vote these motherfuckers out, period. It's by numbers. You can win this. So if we stop killing our people, stop drinking, getting high at unexplained times, and use it for energy, mind energy, and sustenance, and use it the right way, instead of drinking the alcohol, you spit the alcohol out. You don't swallow it. You got to spit it out. Because damn near all our people are alcoholics and drunks underground. And they want some of that liquor. So do your libations and give them some. That's where the energy comes from. They're all drunks down there. We're all drunks up here. If you want to get something done, you got to do that. And invoke that spirit, and it'll come to, it works. Look, it worked for me. Let me tell you an IRS story. How about that? Or should I tell it to you another time? Press one.
Hey, let's roll. We rolling. Let's roll.
Okay, so I was at Joe Dojo. I was at 2727 building. They wanted me to file some. I never paid taxes. They always want you to file after 3 years. They go, oh, you got to file taxes. You got to file taxes. So I went down to a place in Old State. It was over there, 12 mile. Damn. Farmington. I think it's Farmington. And it's a Remax building. And it don't have the IRS on it. It's a Remax. And when you go inside and you go up on the second floor, you see the big ass seal, Internal Revenue Service, with the damn balance scales on there, whatever. And no, that's a justice. You got the Treasury scales. And I go in there and they said, you got to file this, blah, blah, blah. I say, well, where the guy at? I want to give it to him. He's out in the field. So this sister named Miss King told me I can go to the advocacy downtown, the federal building on the 7th floor. Went down to the 7th building on the 7th floor of the federal building. The guy brings back a printed copy of my name and $100,000 on there for the year that I worked. And I took it because I didn't make 100,000. I made like 50 something thousand. He said, your name, that's your name? And that's not really my name, but you know, well, that's your name. Here, I can't help you. Here, take that and go fill it out. So I filled it out and I kept asking, what's the status? What's the status? Finally, they sent me the check for $70,000 on Monday. On Tuesday, they sent me a $61,000 check. That was when I did that Legba thing. Prior to that, that's what I did, the Legba thing. Got the 16 pennies, 4 tails up, counterclockwise early in the morning before Lucifer comes up. And I waited patiently. And I got that cash. That's what happened, people. It works if you work it. 60 G's, baby. Didn't have to pay it back. Now, when I gave them hell about it, they took everything out of my account. And what I did was I went down there. They closed my Chase account, right? My Chase bank account. And I wrote a check and given them instructions, and I sent it in for $50,000. They called me back and said, that's not a negotiable instrument. I said, well, give me the coupon then. The coupon is the perforated dotted line you get on the tax things. That's your check. That's your money order. And you write paid to the whatever for discharge and offset to the Treasury. You write all that lingo stuff. And they offset it for you. They zero the account out. Or you can wait 10 years. Or you can pay a OIC. There are different ways of doing this stuff now. Or you can write them a letter and ask them for information. They'll come back and tell you, oh, give us 45 days and we'll give you an answer. And then you write them back and give them a notice of default if they don't answer you in so many days. Now the ball is in your court and you have the power. And if they don't answer you in the time that allowed it, they got to either pay you back or cancel the debt. That's according to section 15, I think it's 1596 G, A, something like that. We was using that 1596, I think, boss. You remember that 1596 G, I think it is, something to deal with the IRS. And they have to answer the questions. And you give them, you give them 45 days, and then you give them 21 days, then you give them 14 days, give them 17 days. And if they don't answer about us with 7 days, you send a default notice, something like that. But I got the $60-something thousand. So you need a negotiable instrument to pay your taxes off, people. It works. Press 1.
Indeed. Sounds like somebody who would have been all over that. Peace be upon him would have been Watchtower Soldier. Yeah, 1596-01.
Yep. And I sent that to the IRS and they said, give us 45 days. We can answer that for you. 45 days? Yeah, really. So you got to, that's the lion in the Wizard of Oz. You're being the lion. You're telling them what to do now. and they work for you. You don't work for the IRS. It's voluntary. You don't have to pay taxes. When you get a job, you tell them exemption for now until you learn how to, and at the end of the year, you zero your 1099 it out. Everybody knows how to do this. That's regular business. Guess who gets the money when you're doing overtime? The IRS don't get it. The business gets it. They're really the IRS. Press
These
one.
people crazy. I mean, keep in mind, these the same people who said slavery was illegal. You know what I mean? But how did they say it? They said involuntary servitude is
And we
illegal.
went for it. Exactly.
Specifically, involuntary. So if you're saying involuntary servitude exists, you're saying that voluntary servitude exists. Again, if you said involuntary servitude is illegal, you're saying that voluntary servitude is still on the topic. That's what I heard. That's what, went into my mental index when I read that shit.
Right. Check this out. One of the brothers had a property in off of 6th Mile, and he did the letter to HSBC. Right? They gave him his house, but the only thing they asked him to do was pay the property taxes and keep the housing insurance, the homeowner's insurance. He didn't have to pay a mortgage anymore. He beat him. But what he was supposed to do was pay the property taxes so he could stay in the house, and he could have rented the house out and been a landlord. You know what I'm saying? And they was trying to go for too much in the city county building, and they wasn't going for it. What's that brother's name? Not brother, the Italian Colombo. You remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Judge Colombo. You never heard of him in the city county building?
Mm-hmm.
He was the one doing all that stuff and foreclosing on people's property, man. I was there with Beijina and Aflan. Yeah. Same thing. But she got her house back though, through some other means. But it works if you work it, man. It works if you work it. If you want to know anything, get in touch with her. She'll get in touch with me. I can send you some information and get this stuff done. We know how to do tickets too. They give you a ticket, you tell them do not consent, do not contract agent. Send it back in a red ink pen. And that's it. Send it back within 3 days, registered mail. And they won't bother you.
People who they're forcing, some states, they force the people to sign the ticket. If you don't sign it, then they kidnap you and hold you for ransom, right?
Yeah.
So your signature is going to be TDC. That's going to be your signature.
Right.
Version, because that's the reason that you even, whether you want to say authorized signature, autograph, I don't give a shit what you say. Let that shit say TDC and write Buzz Bunny on top of it. What are you going to do?
So this what happened to me in Bloomfield, 21 Mile, 1 o'clock in the morning, drunk, 2 bottles of liquor in my car. Okay. And I made an illegal left turn trying to get to 14 Mile to go to the hospital. That's when I had that funny looking phone that don't give you no GPS. And so blue lights came on, navigation lights came on. And I did what I had to do. It worked for me. They gave me the breathalyzer, did all that shit. I had to dry out. They didn't put me in jail. They didn't handcuff me and do all that. But he grabs the liquor bottle. He goes, "What is this?" I say, "I don't know." He threw the shit back in the car. He took me to the office. I dried out, started drinking water. 7 o'clock in the morning, he brought me back to my car and gave me an escort to my car. Now I'll tell you why they did it. Because I had a suitcase in there and they thought I had my weed. And I had my uniform on from the airport. So they thought I was, transport. So they didn't give me no ticket. They didn't put me in jail. They didn't handcuff me. I don't know what I'd be doing, man. I don't know. Maybe I had my fares in the trunk. I always kept my fares in the trunk. So maybe that was a stop. I don't know. But shit, I get blessed, man. I don't know it just happens. Things happen. I get blessed. I don't know. It says something wrong. What you be doing? 2 bottles of liquor and they didn't put me in jail. They didn't write me up. Something's up.
I've had even worse.
You know what I'm saying? So if blessings can happen to me, I think they can happen to other people too. So I do it by cleaning up my life. I don't fuck with people. I don't kill people. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I try to stay the straight path as much as possible and see my results. You know what I'm saying? But I think the power lies in our vote. I read a lot of books on the internet in this Aquarian age, dealing with Harvard, Cornell, Princeton, California, Michigan, and they all saying that we in the South were the most by numbers. In the North, we had the most gifted people as far as boule shit concerned. You know what I'm saying? The ones that had to fly to the North, they didn't want to deal with the South because we was too hard headed. We didn't. They got to domesticate us too much because we didn't know how to learn the knowledge, but we know how to work the fields. You know, and so the power is in the vote. And if we stop killing our people and become a family, because that's where the nucleus is in the family, we will never rise up, period. You can get all the goddamn money and reparations you want. If you ain't got that family nucleus together, we have no Moorish nation. That's it. Press one.
I hear you. I don't know about that voting shit, but I hear you.
Yeah. No, sister. It's no, sister. You know me. 1980. It didn't happen no more. And I started learning all this shit back in 1980. And when they killed Arthur McDuffie in 1980, Neville Johnson and on a motorcycle in Overtown, I'm done with y'all. And y'all let them folk crackers go in Tampa. So you went to another venue using that fucked up law to your peers, your white jurors, to protect you and your Masonic goddamn cult to be so-called exonerated from killing a brother, a military man, a Marine insurance agent on a motorcycle enjoying his life. And from 1980, I haven't voted. The only time I did vote was when Kwame went into office as mayor. That was the last time I voted. You see what I'm saying? I don't vote. Fuck them. That's just me. I don't vote because I can navigate this shit without voting. I think if it comes to the vote, but they appointed everybody in office back in those days, and they're still doing it today. They're appointing people.
Well, my problem with that is the same issue I have with doing business with these people. They're boasted as the most wealthiest cartel on earth. You know what I'm talking about? So again, if they worth, let's just say they worth 200 trillion, and we make up 13 or 15% of the population, or however y'all want to agree to that statistic. Then with that being said, we should hold that percentage. If we make up 13% of the population, we should hold 13% of the nation's wealth, and we do not. You understand? And that is my problem with
sister. That's the problem where we got to come in, because we're already at the neighborhood. We need to, like, that's what I'm saying. Rod Hayes, some other people. Damon Dash gave a prime example. I love that brother. What we're doing right now is what we're saying right now is not going to be 10 days from now. We got to get the check now. We got to cut the mother. If we're going to sit at the table, we're going to sit at the table. But you can't sit at the table because the gatekeepers are there and they won't let you sit at the table. Period. It's a big ass pot. It's 66 trillion tons, man. You tell me we can't get a piece of this? We can't get Mississippi? We can't get part of Detroit? We already got most of Detroit, so why we can't claim it ours? What unincorporated part of Detroit that we can claim as ours? If I can get a corner on Grand River, it's mine. I'll buy that shit. I don't care. But we got to get the land, the votes, and to protect. We need security right now, period. Security. Down here in Liberty City, we had the Yahweh Ben Yahweh. They posted up on all their property. Every corner, you see them on posts. Nobody could come in and nobody could go out based on, you got to be checked, searched and all that stuff. And nobody bothered them until they put that devil in there and messed up their heaven. They had hotels, they had motels, churches, daycare, businesses. They had it all. And somebody came and infiltrated them and fucked them up. The brother had a key to the city. When you get a key to the city, you get the whole layout. They give you secrets and everything. And they had the key to the city.
He did it with that King James version of the Bible. That was the only reason that they let it go. You understand? But when everything else came into the picture, the murders, the arrogance, and every fucking thing else,
that's the part of the part
it crumbled from within. It's always gonna be agents within your movement. You know what I mean? It's always gonna be some sellout traders in your movement. Believe that. If you have something that's successful and prosperous, that is always gonna be that way. You understand?
Yep. I want to show you something. King Cyrus. You heard of King Cyrus before?
King Cyrus.
Look him up. King Cyrus. He the one that saved that gave the okay for the state of Israel. Now, who did that in real life? Trump. He is King Cyrus. Look him up. Somebody look him up. Look up King Cyrus. He was the one that set up the Jewish. Remember, they changed the Jewish state to go to Israel. He was the one that did it. Now, the brother in Miami is called. He's a Yahweh Ben Yahweh protege. He uses that thing as though it's actually, which it is. He is called Michael the Black Man down here in Miami. If you ever look on your radio, go to 88.7 FM, and you'll hear his speeches. You can go to gods2.com and watch him also. So he traces this thing using the biblical journey, and he calls Trump King Cyrus. Remember when Trump was in office, he stopped the motherfuckers from coming over here. He put up the wall. He tried to get his people some cash and get our people some cash. And here come these motherfucking devils stopping it again. You know that man was supposed to be in office. I don't like the motherfucker, but he's doing stuff. Whereas you see the Democrats doing stuff, you're saying like, that shit ain't for us. They still trying to keep us in slavery. Trump trying to motherfucking keep us out of slavery and give us some of this cash so we can free ourselves. Him and Kanye, say again, him and Kanye, y'all got to watch now. Kanye is throwing signals out there. He's wearing these big boots. Remember when he said Jesus walks? Those are codes, the Masonic codes that we gotta watch. Frank Burrell, a lot of other people, they know how to read that shit. I can't read it all the way, but he's drawing the chart in symbolism, telling you what's about to happen or what's about to take place. Him and some other people. So some of it is in the music, some of it is in poems. If you want to know about your history, it's in poems. A lot of poems and comedy. The black man is in comedy and he's in poems. Shakespeare, Homer, Herodotus, you name it. Some of those Moors out there, they know what I'm talking about. If you want to find your history, it's in poems and comedies. Press 1. So how do you get a check from the government?
Let me know.
That's when they take the cause what's your boy name? Steve Coakley. He was an aide to Harold Washington. So they opened the books up. He got all the books. He knows all the stuff. You know, what is that? What now? The charter. Yeah. What's up with that, sister? I can't. Let me see.
First, we resolve to defend the principles, values, and institutions of democracy and open societies which drive our own national strength and alliances. We must ensure that democracy, starting with our own, can deliver on solving the critical challenges of our lifetime. It's a particular third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I don't know which article it was, y'all. Let me see. 7th.
Hey, guess what?
Must have missed
Damn, what is it? Guess where the Michigan Secretary of State was really at back in the day? You want to know?
Yes.
9 Mile, over there by Channel 2. It was in a house.
North 8 Mile.
Yeah, it was in a house in Southfield on 9 Mile. That's where their headquarters was at, Secretary of State, Michigan. That's where me and Kamala was going. Shit was right. And it had the state flag and the American flag. The troubadour, they call it. Yeah. It was right there. I'm like, damn, that's where the headquarters at? That's where the mail go at? Right there in Southfield.
Well, you know what? Somebody got to say it.
They and that Magna Carta, it messed up the nobility, didn't it? Let me see.
Let's see.
Here we go. You want to read something here? Okay, you want to? Let me read this. I got this thing called "Lover of His Country," and who, July 12th, 1659, published a spirited brochure with the castigating title of a rod for the lawyers who declared to be the grand robbers and deceivers of the nation, greedily devouring yearly many millions of people's money. It starts out vigorously attack on the existing laws, which markets the production as of interest forerunners of Jeremy Bentham's Fragment on the Government, 1776. That's that Magna Carta. It's usually cried, he declares, amongst the masses of oppression, the lawyers. The masses of oppression, the lawyers, and ignorant people that know no better than the laws of England, has also the ways of executing them. They are the safest and best in the world. And so whoever shall, after the said laws or ways of executing them, but unavoidably introduce a mischief instead of a benefit. Wow. But to those it is answered that the major part of the laws made in this nation are founded on principles of tyranny, fallacy, and oppression for the profit and benefit of those that made them. Coming to the point which this note is more particularly concerned, he expresses himself as follows. But some will say that although we're conquered, yet your noble ancestors, by dint of sword in the Barons' War, regained their freedom and influenced the king to condescend to that famous law called Magna Carta. For answer, know this, that when the nobles in those days found the king altogether inclined to his minions and flatterers, and thereby made laws to enslave the said nobles, as well as the commons, worse than they, wow, had been before, they saw there a necessity for them to stand up for their own privileges, who being popular, what by fear and love they engaged the commons with them in war, and took the king prisoner, forcing him to consent to all things that were necessary to preserve themselves for the king's will, but never to the least acted from my love to the poor commons. But what they were absolutely necessitated, neither freed the said commons from the bondage they were in to themselves. Who, this advanced thinker, William Cole, may have been there, apparently no evidence to show, William Cole, whatever, who graduated from Oxford, blah, 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 Winchester, da, da, da. So there you go. So there's that one part of the Magna Carta. Where's the other one? I got another one, a resolution. Oh, Jesus. These things are slow, man. So you had a,
earlier.
Okay, go ahead. I'm pulling
I
up
was saying
something.
I mentioned the Magna Carta or the Magna Charta earlier due to Judge Joe Brown remarks concerning Elizabeth passing. That's the best I could. You
Well,
understand?
transitioning, or how do y'all say it? Dead, because you know us people ain't
Died.
gonna treat
I
her
say
with.
passed.
Okay, she deaded it. She dead. There we go. How about that? You see that?
Yes, I do.
That's the state of Georgia flag with the totem right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mr. Oglethorpe, I presume. It says wow. This is part of the Magna Carta, but they infused it into the Georgia Constitution. I think it's the Georgia Constitution or resolution. I'm sorry, resolution. HR number 174. That ain't what I want. But yeah, you were mentioning the Magna Carta as dealing with constitutionality of the
What I
Magna.
was,
Let me see. Go ahead.
I can't even say he was alluding to. What he said was, and I'm talking about Judge Joe Brown. He said that the constitutional law comes from England, and he is wrong times 10. He again, he mentioned the Magna Carta, which is they're still up under to this day, which is correct, but he was wrong when he mentioned a constitutional fold of government coming from the Europeans.
Now,
Okay,
could the
he don't know
Europeans
about
be?
the Iroquois and the Great White Law Peace. He don't know nothing about that.
He should, but they always withheld the white part of it because that's the most powerful part. They don't want you to know that. You know that. But go ahead, though.
I was just saying he was dead wrong, and you know, like
When was this? Because I'm not following him
Judge
anymore. After
Joe
he
Brown from the TV show Judge Joe
no
Brown.
no what
You
YouTube
mean to tell me what
was he
happened?
with your boy from Memphis, that brother with the trumpet? Was he with him?
No. He didn't. He may have said that on his show before, but it was on a different person's show. I don't even want to say the sister name because I don't want no beef. You know what I'm talking about? But again, he was absolutely incorrect with that statement.
Okay. I'm trying to look it up, and I got all this other stuff going on. The Constitution, but yeah. What is that? How do we? So when we start bringing this stuff up again, we got to regurgitate it. We got to keep it going. We got to piss them off to where they can leave out of office. We got to put our people in office. We were the Moors in office back in the day when we were a Republican form of government. You don't see that anywhere coming soon again, or no?
I mean,
for
those who are willing to assimilate and amalgamate, then go ahead. You know,
right.
but I don't want to do business with these people. I want them to go home.
I know, sister, but it can't. Well, it can, but you see how they chip people back and forth every day, and that's what they're doing. People are leaving, you just don't see it. I'm gonna tell you a story, a real story. Now, y'all look at this from
Courtney Johnson. We gonna address that. I'm about to put some stuff up for y'all now. Peace.
What is
and
it?
Peace
Let's
and
go.
Love to my moderator.
Let's
as
go
well.
there. Courtney Johnson, what do you got? Let's go.
No, they asked me to go into the White Law Peace, the Great White Law Peace by way of the Iroquois, which a lot of our things weren't written down. It was more oral. You know, we come from oral tradition.
That's right.
As well. Not to say that, we aren't the masters of the contract, because it would be no such thing as a contract with a preamble, a mission, non-talking about, and lawful consideration if it weren't for our ancestors. We over and understand that.
Hey, you taught me. I'm listening. You taught me all that stuff, so I'm listening. Go right ahead, boss.
I don't want to. I could go to my Facebook page because I done posted about it multiple times. I even shared a page of Set the Record Straight. You understand? By Dwight York. Even though you know what I'm saying, I'm in opposition to that entire pedophilia shit. You know that went on. That a lot of people are afraid to even touch it. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm been doing more than touching it. So point blank,
Well, well,
let me see.
I was talking to the.
Let us
I was.
deal with this Constitution
Oh
shit. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
want
yeah,
to,
yeah. Okay,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? Because I don't
I
want
was
to
just saying. Well, I
capitalize.
was just
It
saying.
did a lot of people
But
with that shit
besides
by
all that shit,
protecting that
he.
man.
Besides all that, he did have his shit is coming out right now. It's coming back. But go ahead though, press one.
So let's see what we get. Right quick.
They say the free government was restored back in 1787. Talking about 1787 in Philadelphia, whereas the 14th Amendment adopted in 1868 provides in part, no person shall hold any office under the United States who having previously taken an oath to support the Constitution of the United States shall have given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. And whereas the Constitution provides in Article 1 and repeatedly elsewhere in plain, simple words that all legislative powers granted to the United States are vested in Congress of the United States. And whereas a republic is a government of laws and not of men, in which all laws are established by the people themselves, either in immemorial customs or by their own elected representatives and legislative assemblies established for such purpose. Yet, nevertheless, laws established by immemorial customs or common laws were not adjusted to the hence were not adopted by Constitution for the Union. And hence the federal judiciary was given no jurisdiction of such laws. Thus, judicial power was extended by Article 3 from nothing in the Articles of Confederation to cases. From nothing to cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority in Article 3. Judicial power was further extended in Article 3 so as to permit federal judiciary to try cases, controversies depending upon the laws of the nation and the states wherein clearly defined, specified, and blah, 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 blah. So that's that. Now, whereas Article 4 of the Constitution plainly provides that nothing except the Constitution itself, laws enacted by Congress in accordance with the Constitution and treaties, therefore existing or which should thereafter be made in accordance with the Constitution, should be the law of the land, supreme over constitutional laws of the several states. And so I don't want to keep going, but go ahead. Press one.
Yep, I got it on the screen. This is
Okay.
the Iroquois Great Law of Peace, which was a
Okay.
constitution that established a democracy between 5 Iroquois-speaking tribes: the Seneca, the Cayuga, the Oneida, the Onondaga, and Mohawk. That's the group of 5 nations called the Iroquois Confederacy that was established around 1450, right? Now the Magna Carta is what, 1215?
Yep. Something like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So we start talking about a confederacy or Confederate States or anything of that nature, instantly our people begin to think about the Pale Invaders. When right here on your screen it says the Iroquois had a confederacy, a confederacy which was established around. It says, you see, they don't give a definite date. It says
I'll
around
find it.
1450.
I got that thing. Let me see. Say, okay, hold on.
So with that being said, their constitution came in what? 17 what?
It say 1776. I would say 17. I would say earlier than that.
Well, I'm saying 1789 was the year they put George Washington in place, right?
The white one, yeah. I mean, the Albion, the
I'm
Albion.
just
I'm
saying,
sorry.
either way,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? The
the people don't know that
Constitution.
was a black, that there was
in
a
place
more George Washington. Hold on, don't get it.
Hold on, I don't want to mess up
Hold
no
on,
dates and
Magna Carta.
embarrass my teacher.
But they know George Washington was a brother, though, right? They do know that, right?
Um,
Family, y'all do know that George Washington was a brother back in the day.
So yeah, 1787 ratified of 1788 and in operation since 1789. You understand?
Okay.
I don't want to say 1787 and be wrong, but that's what I was gonna say. I knew
Okay.
1789, in operation since 1789. United States Constitution is the world's longest surviving written charter of government.
Mm-hmm. Stolen from the Iroquois.
But again, prior to that, we had what? We had the Articles of Confederation because we had a, a confederacy that already existed, right?
Well, they say it's still here, but
That's up under the Continental Congress. Listen, what is
Mm-hmm.
a continent? A
Mm-hmm.
Continental Congress, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Articles of Confederation. John Hanson. Uh, um, what's the guy that wrote the book A Star in the West? Elias Boudinot. These are your
Okay.
presidents prior to
I
George
got that
Washington.
book
I'm
too.
just going off the top of my head, y'all.
Okay.
I'm just telling you what I remember. You know what I'm saying? But you talking prior to their constitution. You understand, which was modeled after again the Great White Law of Peace from the Iroquois Nation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else that? Let me go back. Not that. Here we go, right here. So I didn't actually click on and nothing to show you. I just gave you the basics or whatever. But
17th century.
again, these people came doing business, which is why they were referred to as colonists. You know what I mean? And what did they do their business at? Within their colonies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to say there because this is not a transference of any type of land. They were only given permission to do commerce and trade upon the land. The
Mm-hmm.
same way, you know, you mentioned a few times about purchasing land. Then you have brothers and sisters on here who have the over and understanding that land can't be bought and sold based off the
What?
fact that we are the caretakers of the land, and in that way, this ownership shit has been a
But
problem. And I'm
but
not speaking about the land. I'm talking about contractually how we have been intertwined into this bullshit, voluntarily and involuntarily. You understand? To
yeah.
think that you can own people or own land. You understand? We are the caretakers of the land. It's our estate by way of blood. This is not their estate. And they overstand that. You understand? They overstand that. They don't deny their lineage.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If their ancestors was French, they need to take their ass back to France.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Their ancestors was Greek, they need to go back to Greece. Period.
So what I'm looking at, sister, is they trampled over us. We didn't. Like I say, I told the moderator, I said, man, I think it's all in a set time. But in that set time, we do have to establish some kind of precedent. Period. Either we make noise to be heard, or we do what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring back to life Princess Kofi and get them shipping lanes, man. We got to get that's the level I'm on. I want to get those shipping lanes that she was when her and Marcus Garvey was doing business. That's what I'm talking about. How do you enforce the Constitution? That's my question, boss. How do we
With it
enforce it?
being it's a contract that set up rules for how they would be allowed to function with their commerce and their trade.
So check this
That's
out.
why I
So I'm
was
gonna
in reference to. That's why Bobby, peace be upon him, always said that was for the English white male. Them being citizens and all that was for the English white male. Had nothing to do with. They didn't even include their women. except for
Because
the
they were
ones who
suffrage,
claim to
right?
be landowners, right?
They were suffrage, yeah, suffrage. And boy, I'm pretty sure you read the Talmud and how they treat their women. Oh my gosh, I don't even
Terrible.
want to begin with that. Yeah, horrible. So yeah,
See
so
it going
they
on
got
today.
they got one constitution for them and one for us. They got the corporate constitution, the de facto, and we got the lawful republic. You know what I'm saying?
Organic.
Organic. And so it's just coming from us, from the earth, from Mother Nature. Ma natur, or you know how you say it. Because I don't want to misspeak the language because you know it better than I do. You know what I'm saying? And so we just got to do what we're doing right now. We're speaking it into power, and people are responding just like on your website, on your YouTube. They're speaking it into power, and that's all we need. You know. So how do you get them out of here? You got. They said it started from the top to the bottom. So I guess it starts from the U.S. government. Then we got to go to the several states or countries, and you got to put in your claim or your affidavit of claim of right, right, right of land through the land patent. What do you think, boss?
I think we got a long way to go, but we have to start by not doing business with these people again.
So I want
That
to do
that
business with you.
is, and I'm
What?
not talking about like boycotting. We gonna boycott. We not gonna buy
Mm-mm,
gas on the weekends and all that.
mm-mm,
That's not what I'm
mm-mm,
talking
mm-mm,
about.
mm-mm.
I need gas and my land transport so I can get from A to B and handle my own affairs. You know what I'm talking about? So that's
But,
not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about by way of, again, these cities and they city ordinances, these states and they compiled laws, and they daddy, which will be the Fed.
but they
That's
don't
who
need the
sends
Fed
them.
until.
They all of these subsidiaries known as states have their own separate charters, but they still get an annual budget from their daddy
Yes, they
on
do.
a yearly or annual basis
Yes,
to
they do.
handle all of their affairs with that budget. You understand?
And then
So
they. Okay,
when
go
we
ahead.
say that they are extorting us and kidnapping us and sexually assaulting us and holding us for ransom, god damn it, that's what they doing. But if you are not using this language, you speak in legalese that are your enemy by way of saying arrest and search,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to jail and I had a bond or such and such. No, your ass got kidnapped and they gave you a ransom. We have to say what it is.
So you speak that language, they get scared. They real shrink. They will
Excuse
shrink.
me, y'all. Getting over a cold. And while we got the Air Corps up here, I want everybody to do some investigation, right? We talking about 1450, and as uh the relatives said, they're speaking Gregorian calendar, right? This is what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is this, and you can look it up. The Air Corps League of Women. There's an Air Corps League of Women, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the 30s,
Mm-hmm.
cut a check to Ralph Bunch in order for him,
Yeah.
in order for him to continue his studies. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because he went
Mm-hmm.
to, I think he went to UCLA or one of them colleges in California for sure, one of the big ones.
Big
And from
boys.
there, he went to Harvard. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
He went on an athletic scholarship, right?
Mm. Mm.
And again, who is this Air Corps League of Women that they speak about? Again, who cut Ralph Bunch a check in order to further his education, right?
Stop. Are you
Well, when
serious?
you see the
Stop.
picture of them, it's all melanated women,
Mm.
right? Now,
Go
typically,
ahead.
when we, see people who are still speaking some of the Air Corps tongue, and I'm not speaking specifically of the clans that are on the screen, but many of these people don't look like us. right?
Okay.
So to see a picture of these melanated women who obviously has some pesos to be paying for a brother to go to college, and here in 2020, there's no discussion about where are these women.
Okay.
But I do have a video by way of PBS that I done shared on here before and got a damn strike. So I'm not going to do it this evening. But now that we had a new channel, I did it again. So it's on one of them videos. All y'all got to do is go through them and watch them, and you will run into it.
Okay.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not bragging on him, and I'm not even bragging on the Iroquois League of Women. My point is that how many of us knew that there was an organization known as the Iroquois League of Women who had the type of wealth to be able to send melanated men and women to college in the 30s? That, you know, that was my point. Yeah, he also helped us. Ralph Bunche is the reason that you have a United Nations instead of a League of Nations. Because prior to Ralph Bunche, it was the League of Nations, right? And he was disrespected. Bobby used to talk about it all the time. Say, you know, they basically call him the N-word when he tried to address the people as a representative of the United States of America at the League of Nations. Like I say, they called him the N-word. In other words, what they were saying was this man has no nationality. He has no business being in this forum with us. You understand? So they created another form that they don't damn even listen to or abide by the rules of it. According to various declarations passed through the United Nations, we have the right to do every goddamn thing that we have been attempting to do and have been ridiculed and robbed for doing.
Right.
But again, as I always say, when you look up the rights of a child, the rights of a child to a name and nationality in 1959, well, you say, damn, children didn't even have rights in 1959. So if they children didn't have no rights, how you think they feel about our children right now? They don't get no fucks. Again, these is people who actually threw the baby out with the bathwater, right? That's where the saying came from. Because they would actually throw their babies out with the fucking bathwater by mistake.
They still doing it today?
I hope not, goddammit.
Oh,
Because it seems to be, to me, every time I've ever seen any, and this has not been face to face. This is stuff that we see by way of the TV or your computer or whatnot, your phone. When you see people living in like extreme poverty to where they don't have toilets, they don't have shit, they shitting and pissing in the beach and all of that, it's usually melanated people, right? It's not usually them. But this was the time where they were so fucking poor that they all bathed in the same dirty ass tub of water, and they always washed the baby last. And the water would be so filthy and dirty by the time they put the baby in the water. When they went to throw the water out the goddamn door or wherever they was throwing the water out, sometimes they would throw the baby out too, because the water was so fucking dirty that they couldn't see the baby. And forgot the baby that they put the baby in the dirty ass goddamn water. So they would throw the baby out with the dirty ass fucking bath water that all of them bathed their ass in, and they bathed the baby last. This is actual facts. Go Google the shit. This is they fucking history. You have never in your life, you heard some messed up things about melanated people in ancient times and right now. But you ain't never heard us throwing our goddamn baby out with the damn bath water, literally, right?
Well, they never said that. They said it. Well, I showed you that thing where they had see, look your complexion, and remember the Albion was trying to keep her and scrub the brown off of her, the copper. Did I send that to you? And then she ran away. They tried to catch. She was running. That's the symbolism of us running into the the backcountry in America. They caught the little girl, and it's showing you how these white people did us, or Albions did us. And they put her in the tub, and they tried to scrub the damn black off of her, the brown, or not the black, the copper, the brown off of her. That's a true story. They do it to this day. They're trying to make you look like them. You feel me? That's what they were doing back then. You know, scrub the black off of you, kidnap you, and then scrub you, which they do every day. They've been kidnapping since time immemorial.
Breastfeed my baby. After you finish breastfeeding my baby, I'ma practice what do they call medical apartheid on your ass.
Yep. Go straight for the brain. What makes you tick? And so all that's now coming to an end, but we need the thing about it is though, sister, it's a Masonic nation and they're running the show. You know that we running the show. Frank Burrell said we running the show, and I cannot deny that. We are the fucking black Satan. We're the ones that's running this mouth. And you want to come for the light, you got to come to us or go through us to get it. That's what I was taught on 66th Street and 20th Avenue. He was the first white slave, the Albion. The first slave. I ain't gonna say white slave, he was the first slave. All right, and we made him a slave. That's why he don't like it now, because we made him. I'm gonna leave that right there. That's a little bit too much.
Yeah, let's let these people talk about how they people do right quick.
Right. Any questions, press 1. So the brother, I saw this thing on Straight 8, the dude out of Atlanta or New York. He had a brother on, and the brother, let me see if I can find this thing. And he gave the straight answer that I've been looking for. Let me see if I can find it.
All right, while you looking for it, I'm about to share something with the people right quick.
All right.
See, I just mentioned the Oath Keepers. We talk about Q19. What's the other? The Proud Boys.
Yeah.
About January 6th, when they rushed their capital, right? You see right here, Oath Keepers membership list. 373 are served in law enforcement. 117 serve in the U.S. military. And 81 of them hold or are running for public office, right? We concerned with this 373.
And that's the part that I don't know. So here's the deal, sister. That don't bother me because they're goons, and we're gonna stop all that because I'm gonna read their own policy back to them, and they can't deny it because they've usurped or perjured their own selves. That's what I'm gonna do. All you got to do is get whenever a cop stop you, you get the book, the rules of the road, and just put it right in his face, and he won't bother you anymore. You got to know the rules of the world. You can't just have the book in your car. You got to study it and become the book. And once you know the book, they can't touch you because you got to question him on his business. He approach you. Is he approaching you? You got to do the big. He got to do the big. He got to announce himself. And people get so emotionally excited when he comes that you give up your own. You snitch on yourself. That's what I'm saying. You snitch on yourself. So if you want to get those 373 down, you might have to infiltrate and be a cop to find out what's going on. Sometimes you got to go under the cover of darkness. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to be you got to be a chameleon. Sometimes you got to act white. You know what I'm saying? Some people say, "Well, no, I ain't from that," but they mention the amalgamation for the future and for now. In order for them to get into heaven, they got to come to us. But they're looking for a white Jesus through the white woman. That's what it says. Now, if you read Daniel, it says he had his head and hair were like lamb's wool. His head and hair, not just his hair. His head and hair is white like lamb's wool. Read it carefully, y'all. Don't let these people bamboozle y'all when y'all. His hair was like lamb's wool, but they don't tell you his head and his hair were white like lamb's wool. Stop playing. But that's just the Bible. It got 7 dimensions in it. And if you know the 7 dimensions, you can free yourself overnight. So run on that. It's a good book. You just got to eat the book, become the book. Like Bruce Lee said, if your water become water.
Watching, what is it, Dahmer? The Jeffrey Dahmer? That's on what, Netflix?
I think so.
This is the big topic right now. So for everybody who's watching the Jeffrey Dahmer series or whatever you want to call it, when you get finished watching that shit, go read The Delectable Negro. Then you will understand Jeffrey Dahmer. Not willing. I don't understand how our people are giving so much focus into this series and are so surprised. They're surprised because they don't know anything about these people being cannibals, right? They're more likely, I'll just say us here who haven't been outside of the country to what they call some of these, what third world nations, stupid shit, stupid shit they make up, like the Middle East, stupid shit that they make up. So for lack of better words, that's why I'm using that word, right? But my point being is, we look at these other nations who are living in poverty, and we would more so accept them being cannibals than this very regime that's over here, not just ruling, but running over your ass. When historically, you can trace their cannibalism right here in the Americas when they first arrived. So they've been participating in it. So when you see the photograph of the sister breastfeeding the pale baby, understand it. Understand why people who are racist as hell to the point of practicing eugenics and other things like that, right? Why would they allow us to breastfeed? Right?
Well, we getting.
They know who their God is. Your ass don't. Race
man,
who claim ownership of some of our ancestors, who beat them, raped them, robbed them, would turn around and let them breastfeed their child. Make it make sense. Now turn it around.
But hold on. But where was she? She wasn't working.
Would you let a so-called white woman breastfeed your baby? You know you wouldn't.
Well,
you know the baby gonna die if you let them breastfeed your child, right?
That well, I don't know. You the woman. You gotta teach me. I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm being.
I know what you're saying. There's no sustenance there. There's no life there. It's dead on arrival.
That's the point. That's why they were called cretins. They lack the iodine. If you don't have enough salt in your body, you're not carrying that child.
It's a term, right? Okay. So yeah, I don't know anything about that, sis. But you're right. I'm gonna leave that to you. You know the term. But look, everything was in reverse though, and you know that, right? And so whatever they're doing, we did it first to them. Now it's on us. We see it. We're experiencing it. So now it's time for us to get out of it. And so how are we going to get out of it? I guarantee you, if they go and live a clean life, if our people live a clean life, we can do this thing before the sixth dimension comes in. They say when the 6th dimension comes, it's going to be hell. It ain't going to be pretty. And you know what they say, when Christ comes, he come to crush. He ain't coming to save. He say, save yourself. Don't look for nobody to
that
save.
sun coming to burn your ass.
Yes. Let me tell you something. So I went on a boat trip. Y'all got to hear this. It was me, a Cuban, and a white guy, and his dad. Cuban father and son, me, and a Albion. We went out Monday night, came back Tuesday morning. So we had to go through government cut, 9-foot, 10-foot ways, And so the morning came. We went out catching dog, or mahi-mahi, triple tail, you name it, right? When we got back, no, first of all, he got seasick going through the current. The Albion guy, he got seasick. And me and the Cubans just having fun fishing that night. Then the morning came and that sun was beating down. Boy, I tell you, when that man was red and peeling, God damn, he was, woo, Lord have mercy, he was red and peeling. And I was just dark. And the Cubans, they were straight. They didn't peel or nothing. But that white boy peeling red like crazy, y'all. He's a Canaanite. They got a Canaanite and they got the Gentiles. The Gentiles are the ones that don't burn. They just tan, like wrinkled fucking leather. But the ones that are, yeah, the ones that burn up and you see the spots on them, those are the Canaanites or the red Cherokees down here in Florida. They got Cherokees, Albion, so-called wannabe Indians, but they're really
Indians.
Yes, yes. And so they burn up in the sun. And I saw that guy peeling red. Look, man, I said, I'm glad I'm not him. Glad I'm not him.
Well, let me say this too before we get out of here. Before some of our big mamas breastfed them, they was breastfed by a dog, and they didn't die. So, what do you want? Be different if I was lying, right? But due to the fact that I'm telling the truth, that they went from being breastfed by a literal dog to being breastfed by a God. I don't know what we thought was gonna happen behind that, but they upright and walking on tools now. So what do you want? You know, still not fully developed.
But you know what, sister Bobitis, we are the examples, and we remember now they're looking for us to be better than them. They want it 110%. They still want to know how we built the pyramids. They still didn't. Some do know it, some don't know it. You understand what I'm saying? But people think that the wheel was invented just a couple of days ago. No, that shit was out before I was born. That inflated wheel, yeah, before I was born, before you and me were born. So this is just another epoch, Iberian epoch. We're going through some kind of experience, and it's on a material plane. So I'm loving it, man. Look, so I want people to study the Canaanites of the Albions, the Canaanites of the so-called Moors. It's both sizes. You got the good and the bad on our side, good and bad on their side. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that, and I navigate it through who I can navigate through. So I find out when I talk to certain people around the whatever, and I have a cadence and they can hear me. I'll give you an example. I'm at the casino back when I was gambling. I'm not gambling no more, y'all. So Arab came up to me. The first thing he said was Assalamu alaikum. Why would he say that? He don't even know me. But he said, Assalamu alaikum. Brother, I just lost $10,000. I'm like, okay, nigga, you lost $10,000. What the fuck you want me to do? You're a fool. A fool in his money shall soon part, correct? Yeah, that's what he did. First thing he did was he said, Assalamu alaikum. Peace, brother. Why would you only say that to me and not nobody else? You understand what I'm saying? So that shit is real. Don't let nobody fool y'all that they don't know us. They know us and they respect us. Go ahead, sister. Press one.
I'm just saying, stay away from white people who say, I hate pot. I smell pot.
I smell who?
Pot. They say pot. I smell pot. I hate pot.
Not down here. It's a whole different story down here. You got to come down here and sit for a minute. These motherfuckers, they're different than, like they say, Florida is weird. I'm telling you. But they got their Lakeland, Plantation, Davie, places like that, old school KKK places.
Yeah, they got plenty of them. You don't have no, I used to live down there.
But they don't bother anybody. I mean, like, I'm from the South, man. And I'm from the cities.
Yeah, the police bother motherfucking ass. That's the biggest KKK down there.
And the police, I can handle them. I don't think nobody else can handle them. I dealt with them before. So they're my least worries. What I'm trying to do, if anybody got any problem, hit the Mobitus up, or contact me, or they'll tell you exactly what to do with these contracts. You cancel them damn contracts out with TDC, and they will in 3 days. Do it within 3 days. Don't wait till the 21st day. Do it in 3 days. Registered mail. Send that shit straight to them. When they get it, that's their contract now, and he got to pay for it, or she got to pay for it. You are done with that. They got to start a whole new contract, and they're gonna send you saying, "Go get your car fixed or get your tires, fix this up." That's it. You beat that case. Those are little wars that we win every now and then. Yeah, that's a war. Don't think that Toussaint Louverture had a war like that. He was doing little contracts, paper contracts, and won his war with Napoleon's army. But press one, never mind. I'm just, for real. Paperwork,
I ain't gonna hold you. Is it? We know we done made it to the midnight hour, so people is trying to watch Power.
Thanks. They don't left, huh? Thanks, audience. I appreciate the love, y'all.
It's still people there, but we've been on here a little over 2 hours. So
anybody want a question before I go? They want to know anything, how to clear something in court or hospital or paperwork? Let me know.
Post your questions or not, because we got like 5 more minutes before we out. They say blacks are the Canaanites, not the albinos.
There you go.
Well, I say this, being that we know that KJV is not a literal book. You understand?
No.
I don't look at it. I don't look at that as any people being talked about, except for the various ancient texts that they, you know what I'm saying, implemented in there. But again, once again, the King James Bible only has 66 books, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they had books missing out of it. But the whole thing of it, the crux of it is a navigation book for you to interpret, decode, and go about getting your cash and getting your land and sitting yourself at home at once. That's it.
It's a occult, esoteric, allegorical, astronomical, astrology book. What they say?
Seven dimensions.
Basic instructions before leaving Earth, whatever you want to call it. It's good and bad in it, just like it's good and bad inside of your ass. As above, so below.
You can actually free yourself just reading a dictionary, just like Malcolm X did. So if anybody got any tickets or whatever, do not go to court. Send it. The most powerful thing is send an private administrative process. Do not go in public. Your business is private. You never go in public if you're a Moor. Period. Try to stay out of them damn courts, because they'll trick you every time.
Who says they just want to get out the system? That's their only issue. You want to get out of their system.
Right. It takes time. Go one by one at it. Yeah, it's a process, because we had to do it. We had to go to Secretary of State plenty of times from Detroit to Lansing, back and forth. And they got to know us. Right. And once they get to know you, things become easier for you. They see your face. They see you're in the political process, and now you're going to start seeing your freedom. It works. Just do not give up. I told myself, once I get in this class, this underground, I'm not leaving it, and I'm still here to this day. And we started back. I was there in 2008. I don't know when you got into Bobby's class. I was there in 2008, and I'm still doing it. I'm still knowing you. I'm still here. You taught me this stuff, man. I appreciate it.
Well, I met Bobby post Hurricane Katrina, so that's 2005.
Okay.
This is a lot, and again, I mentioned Hurricane Katrina. We know that was awful.
That was a setup. Yeah.
It was fucking awful. It was horrendous.
And so when they know the
diabolical, you understand? It brought about this information that we're discussing this evening. It began to spread like wildfire. So good and bad. Right. Good and bad. It woke Kanye up for a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Now check this out. From 2005, I was just about to say that, sister. Now look at him today. He's still doing that stuff. If you follow his, that's what King James to me is. We follow the trends, the current trends, and we put names on them, and we put these people in, like Jeremiah Wright, when he was President Obama was going to his church, right? Getting that knowledge. I use him as Jeremiah of the Bible because he raised some hell. Look what they did. They took, hey, look, you can't go to that man's church no more. You got to denounce that guy. You understand? So I call him Jeremiah of the Bible. And I use these certain people in politics as characters that's in the Bible, and the Moors that's in the Bible that are here today, speaking in, like Tariq. I would call him Tariq of the Moors back in the day. And they use that. If you look at it, it's actually happening. You're living it right now. The experience you're living is from those 7 dimensions. The Bible is just a book of dimensions. It ain't no book you're supposed to be scared of and you gotta bow down. No, your lessons, your Moses is in you. You know from your heart what's right and what's wrong. You don't need Moses to tell you. That was for the Gentiles. That was for them, not us. That's why most people don't like the Bible, because we already know it from here, from the heart, what law is. That's what Frank Burrell said. You already know what law is. So when I talk to a person that drink, they say, I know. Well, I don't need to tell you no more. Stop asking me for money. Person smokes cigarettes. I walk up to him. Oh, yeah, I know. I didn't say no. I just said it's all relative. You already know, motherfucker. Stop smoking. The shit's killing you. You're like a wrinkled goddamn grape. Stop it. So all these things, like you said, it's inert in us. It's spiritual, and it's oral. It's not written. It's oral. We only write it down for those that are blind that can't figure it out. And so we put a stumbling block in them called allegory, parables, shit like that. Those are called stumbling blocks. And so once you understand how to break things down from your nature, the netaru, you know how to say that word, then you become enlightened. You see the light. And so you say, damn, all this stuff now I got it. And so now you're a free person. So that person there the first thing he needs to do is get his name right. Put an L on the end, and L or Bay or Ali on the end, he'll be good. He ain't got to change the whole thing. But if he want to, yeah. And from there, you go from there. Start reading, start studying. Read and study. Don't stop. It said to be God, it takes 59,999 books to read. 59,999.
You make your declaration, your proclamation. You know what I mean?
That's the next stop. So
public record. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. My point is this, though. You can submit as many notifications as you like. The point is, you dealing with criminals, right?
Yeah.
Criminals don't like to honor law. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially criminals who create millions of statutes and codes and prohibitions and, I'm talking about, acts and all of this shit in order to usurp not just the power from the people, but the people energy, which y'all call money,
usury,
their possessions and assets, and so on and so forth. This is what they came here to do. And they are continuing that cycle. Period. So just keep that in mind while you are putting together your affidavits and whatnots. Just know you dealing with a criminal cartel. This regime, again, they came here to do business, right? And they were given permission in certain areas to be able to do this business. But now it's widespread. You understand? And along with that widespread business that they doing, again, they added millions of statutes and codes and acts to go along with the shit. And they add 100,000 more on a yearly basis.
And some are repealed.
We can never look at that shit as law. That's not my law. I'm not your employee. I'm not your citizen. I'm not your subject.
So now you take that and you reverse it, and there's the whole thing. You don't have, if you don't want to, but I know people saying they try, and that's good. We all need to. I'm gonna tell you an example. The lights just went out earlier, about a couple of hours ago, sister, and you can't do nothing. And so that's where we're at. If you're in a rented house, you can't do shit. But if you're in your own house, you go outside and sit and get that good air and wait till you got to wait till the lights come on, because you go out. They are taking over this city with fucking buildings, and usurping the people out by doing eminent domain, but they're doing it so quietly you don't even see it. So the Moore told me, she says, they're coming in here buying the property, and then they renting people all these buildings, and they're making you pay rent without owning your property. That's what she told me when I got here. And you look at her, he's like, she's darker than dark. She knows what's going on. She's been here. And so how can she know the technical things about land, buying property and forcing the natives out? I mean, the original people out. There's got an influx of people coming in now. Do you know there's more Indians here from Hindustan than we are in America? Is more of them here than, matter of fact, can you pull up the inception of India when it first was enacted for me? I'm finna blow their mind right now. When was India established? I'm finna blow their mind. Come on. Come on.
Put it up there. Wow.
So how the fuck can Columbus be talking about he got lost trying to find India?
What? Hold on.
My man just put it up there.
Yeah, there it go. Thank you.
So how the fuck can Columbus discover America and for looking for India? That was Hindustan. That was Hindustan. All right, car repair. You know what's up. See, that's how you shut these motherfuckers down. I'm sorry. Damn. Press 1.
So it actually didn't come into effect until 1950. Says
go.
though India became a free nation on August 15th, 1947, it declared itself a sovereign democratic and republic state with the adoption of the Constitution on January 26, 1950. A salute of 21 guns and the unfurling of the Indian national flag. Okay.
So we can dispel that bullshit.
54. 22. 19.
And on that note, there you go. Let's keep it moving. Fuck Columbus. Matter of fact, Columbus' so-called birthday coming up on the 13th, or discovery coming up. He was, matter of fact, he was half black, half Jew.
What was India? Well, they saying he was a Moor. Now I don't want to hear that shit.
No, for real. No. Listen, now we put our own selves in slavery, sister. That's who. How else are you gonna usurp when you got to put? That's what Steve Coakley was talking about. They had put these Negroes that don't look like us, and they ain't us. They Indians, and they took the land from us. The ones with the straight hair. They did it. All of us folks ain't kinfolks. We got Indians. You got some Africans that didn't work with us because we're non-obligated. We're not Masons. They don't like us because we tell the truth, and they want to keep the lie going. And so there you go.
Indeed, you gotta, I have enjoyed this.
Right. I'm glad y'all caught me off guard. Y'all caught me off guard, sister. But I appreciate you. Look, everybody, that's my teacher. She is my teacher. 27 building in Detroit.
We both student teachers for sure.
Yeah, but
always and forever. If you ain't always learning something, you know
right.
You need to change your surroundings.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. That's how you elevate like-minded people, and we can win this with the vote. Like I said, they already got it in place. You just got to be patient. Stay on the straight course. Do not get caught up in crazy stuff. Stay clean. If you stay clean, you can win the battles a lot easier. If you're dirty, they're gonna look at you and say you got bad credit. That's it. Oh, and have good credit too, so we can get these lines of credit going. Always keep your credit straight. They won't bother you. So if you get any problems, look me up. I'll see what I can do for you. If not, I'll give you to somebody else. That's how we do this, family. Press 1.
All right. Peace and love, brother. Love you.
Y'all,
Talk to you soon.
love y'all now. Peace.
Peace.
Supreme.
Shock.
Etymology. Say I'm dope, I said I'm smoke, fire, blowing air, carbon, earth, solid, water, wet. I'm steady beat, a sister soldier that dies effects. So gone with all that hoopla and rah-rah, unless you talking about Atun, Namuna, Amara, pineal glands, all seeing eyes. We call the third eye, we came to build, not pay your bill. Sling 'em in municipality, city seals like roadkill, descendants of ancient mound builders. Not supposed to need encyclopedias, genetically encoded with 720. We got amnesia, claiming we Christian cretins in love with Yahweh, Muhammad, and Jesus. But you was living inside of God when you was a fetus. But believers will never believe